But I'm going to show you some examples of things that you can place your dogs on to practice. We have some kids playing over in the playground there. It's probably a little daycare person with a bunch of little toddlers running around. So you want to make sure that if your dog is not off-leash reliable, that you have your 6-foot leash on or a 20 or 30-foot long line on so that you can step on it or grab it if need be while your dog is learning and training. But in this setting, you can see all around me, there is a wooden stump over there. There's this picnic table. There are multiple picnic tables in this area. There is a play gym structure over there that I can place the dog on the stairs and the steps. There's more picnic tables. There's a bridge. There's a bench over there. There's even more picnic tables. There's an arbor over there by the tennis courts. There's baseball bleachers. If you look behind there's a car over there with some baseball bleachers. We go over here past the creek, and then there's a skater park over there, and I can place the dog on multiple things over there too. So it's just like using things that are in your environment and just noticing these things. So we don't all notice these things because we don't always use them until we have learned why we use them and to use them. So, when you're walking around with your dog, take note of what's in your environment because there are so many things that you can use for free. You don't have to go and spend a bunch of money and build things at your house. You can simply go around and use things that are in your natural environment that are free. And they will help to build confidence for your dog. They will help your dog to learn impulse control. So, for example, there's lots of kids over there. There's a creek here. I don't want my dog running into the creek. Lots of dogs love water, but it's winter and I don't want my dog wet. So your dog has to be able to resist that temptation. Same with squirrels or birds or whatever's in your environment. I don't see any squirrels here at this time, but there are toddlers here. And if a dog is excitable around those noises and sounds or is unpredictable, then you've got to make sure you're a responsible dog owner to make sure that you maintain the level of obedience with your dog and that you are a responsible owner that has control of your dog at all times. And that means your dog is either leashed or under control. So Zeus here has been through lots and lots and lots of training, and I would certainly hope so because I'm a trainer. So, from day one he's had training. And so we have an understanding, we have mutual respect, we have a great relationship that's built on that respect and that trust. And so, I've also learned over the years about dog body language and understanding the cues and signals a dog gives off so that I can intervene, supervise, redirect, advocate on his behalf in whatever situation happens, all based on the body language of the cues and clues that he gives off of his body because he doesn't talk. And I really, really talk quite a bit about this to my clients because if you do not read your dog's body signals properly, or you don't understand them, or you miss them, you could be missing really great opportunities to communicate effectively with your dog, which will then give your relationship a boost. And dogs are really big on respect. So if they know that you know what you're doing, they're more inclined to listen to you and follow your leadership, opposed to you being unsure. If you're unsure, if you're anxious, if you don't have a lot of confidence, the dog is going to know that. The cat's going to know that. The horse is going to know that. The cow, any animal is going to know that. This is all just comes down to animal psychology. So with a dog, dogs and horses are very, very similar. I have a horse background as well in training horses. And dogs are just a smaller version of a horse in many ways. So when you are looking at a dog, there's about 30 signals a dog will give off. And that's quite a bit. And there are some that are very obvious, but there are some that are very subtle and not so obvious. And what ends up happening is people will take those obvious cues or clues and misunderstand some of the things because the dog's body language is doing other things while that one main thing is happening. So for example, if a dog's hair is all up, it doesn't mean the dog is aggressive. It could mean the dog is intending on doing something. However, you have to know what the tail is doing, what the ears are doing, what is the mouth doing, what is the legs doing, what is the rest of the main part of the body and facial expressions doing. So all of those things have to be taken into account. You can't judge a dog based on one signal alone. And, 30 is a lot. So, I don't necessarily train my clients on all 30 cues, but I do tell them and train them in about 10 or less main ones, and I give them videos so that they can study them and understand, and then start to actually see these signals. And then when they go out in public with their dogs, they actually start to notice these things, and it starts to make sense. And that's what solidifies a strong relationship with your dog. As soon as you start understanding these things, and then you start applying your knowledge in advocating, supervising, intervening, redirecting, whatever, the dog starts to go, oh, yep, you've got my back. I don't need to react. I don't need to mistrust. I don't need to jump or lunge or bite or growl or whatever. I need to listen, and I can respect you because you are a leader and you are telling me what to do and you're following through. That's really, really, really important to a dog. A dog isn't going to follow someone or listen to someone if they don't feel that you are capable of doing so. And it's a learning experience. It's a training journey for both you and your dog. So I'm here spending some time with Zeus just practicing because, again, if you don't practice what you preach, your dog is going to lose that knowledge and that experience in those different environments. And it's really important that Zeus stays on key with everything because he's out in the public so much. And with COVID, we have the extra challenge because we have been self-isolating. And for some dogs, that's a problem because they haven't had as much structure or as much exposure to certain things. But the big thing that people need to understand, whether you have a puppy or a dog, social skills is not just socializing with other dogs. To have a social dog, the dog needs to be confident, period. If you have a confident dog, your dog will handle environmental changes, different things, people, places in that environment once you have that foundation built with your dog. So your dog doesn't have to meet 50 or 100 dogs in its whole life experience to be exposed to those things in order to be capable of being a good, solid social dog. It needs to have positive experiences, but it needs to have lots of different experiences. And that means children, wheelchairs, old people, trucks, cars, rivers, airplanes, squirrels, vacuum cleaners, brooms, laundry machines, fireworks. Dogs don't like fireworks. Lots and lots of different things. And I have a checklist that I give my puppy clients that I would like them to try and get as many of those experiences within the first 16 weeks. But they have a year to do that, to tick off this checklist of different experiences of exposure. And once you've done that, your dog has got a really good foundation to move forward for a really well-balanced dog.